Hello, boys and girls. This is Monday, September 28th. This is our reading lesson. We are now on Unit 2, Week 2. So let's take a look at our Wonders presentation. And here we are. Okay, so finding a home. Our essential question this week is, why do people immigrate to new places? So why do people move from one place, especially one country, to another? So we'll be talking about immigration all week. I'm going to skip this for now. Let's take a look at this short video.
Immigration. Why do people immigrate to new places? From 1892 to 1954, more than 12 million people, or immigrants, left their homes to come to America. Their first stop when they got here was Ellis Island in New York Harbor. The journey across the Atlantic Ocean was difficult, but these immigrants were hoping to make new homes, find work, and create better lives for themselves. Seeing the Statue of Liberty gave them hope. They knew they would be free in America.
All right, let's take a look at these.
Immigration still happens today. These immigrants are refugees that came to the United States to escape wars in their own countries.
Whoops, let's go back.
This photograph of 3 Japanese children was taken on the deck of a ship named the Shinyo Maru as it arrived in San Francisco, California. In 1620, the Mayflower brought the first pilgrims to America. The pilgrims left Europe hoping to find religious freedom in the New World. The pilgrims had to work hard to settle their new colony. They had to cut down trees, to clear land and make lumber for building.
All right, and back to where we started. So now we are looking at our brand new vocabulary words for the week. So remember, we need to learn what these words mean in order to better understand the stories that we're reading this week, and also for our vocabulary quiz that we will be taking on Friday. So let's take a look at each of these words and see if we know what they mean. I'm sure you already do know some of them.
Arrived. Aunt Sophie was so happy when we arrived at her house.
Arrived. If you arrived, you got to where you were going. Aunt Sophie was so happy when we arrived at her house. What do you do after you have arrived at school?
What do you do after you've arrived at school? Go out and play on the playground? I think that's what we used to do. Now we will be going straight to classrooms and having breakfast in our classrooms. Let's look at our next word.
Immigrated. Many people immigrated to the United States from other countries.
Immigrated. Immigrated means to have come to a new country to live. Many people immigrated to the United States from other countries. Why have people immigrated to America?
think they were usually looking for a better life in some way, maybe escaping wars or looking for religious freedom. Whoops. Okay, our next word is
Inspected. Stacy inspected the pine cone carefully.
Inspected. Inspected means to have looked at something closely and carefully. Stacy inspected the pine cone carefully. What is something you have inspected carefully? Inspected. Inspected means to have looked at something closely and carefully.
right. Okay, let's look at our next word.
Moment. The match stayed lit for a moment, and then it went out. Moment. A moment is a very short amount of time. Moment. A moment is a very short amount of time. The match stayed lit for a moment, and then it went out. What can you do in a moment?
And our next word is opportunity.
Opportunity. Our class had an opportunity or chance to visit the museum.
So opportunity is a chance.
Opportunity. An opportunity is a chance for good things to happen. Our class had an opportunity or chance to visit the museum. What is another word for opportunity?
Okay, photographs.
Photographs. I like to look at old family photographs.
Photographs. Photographs are pictures taken with a camera.
Or a phone. So nowadays we take lots of pictures with our phones.
Photographs. Photographs are pictures taken with a camera. I like to look at old family photographs. Why do people take photographs?
Well, I think people take photographs because they're good ways to remember things. So we can remember what things look like. We can jog our minds to remember how we felt at certain times, like when we were on a vacation with family or things like that. Okay, just a couple more.
Valuable. The card I made is very valuable to my grandmother. Valuable. Something that is valuable is worth a lot of money or means a lot to someone. The card I made is very valuable to my grandmother. Name something that is valuable to you.
Okay, so valuable can mean worth a lot of money. Do you think that card that the grandson made is worth a lot of money? Probably not, but still very valuable to his grandmother because it means a lot to her, even though it's not worth a lot of actual money. Valuable. Okay, our last word for this week is
Whispered. Trudy whispered the plan to Josh so no one else could hear.
Whispered. Whispered means spoken in a very quiet voice. Trudy whispered the plan to Josh so no one else would hear. What is the opposite of whispered?
what is the opposite of whispered? Maybe yelled or hollered or spoke loudly. Okay, so those are our vocabulary words for this week. And let's take a look at some vocabulary practice so we can have some fun with this. Select the correct word to complete the sentence. In the last round, remember to select the word that the underlined word is being compared to. All right, let's take a look. The audience was quiet for a blank before they began to clap. For a moment, a day, or a month. These two seem like a long time. A moment is not very long, so let's pick moment.
Good job.
Okay, the next one. Their family blank to the United States from Australia. Immigrated, stayed, or departed. That's right, they moved from another country, so they
Excellent
immigrated.
work.
Ophelia took some beautiful blank of her family at the wedding. Letters, moments, or photographs. That's right, she would take photographs at the wedding.
Good job.
We moved to the East Coast to have the blank to attend better schools, to have the day, opportunity, or design. That's right, a chance, an opportunity.
Fantastic.
Ms. Brown made a surprising blank when she opened the closet. Discovery, moment, or loss. That's right, she discovered something, so she made a surprising discovery. Oops, gotta pick the right one first.
Fantastic.
We follow family blank during the holidays. Do you remember what we do? Opinions, traditions, or signs. That's right, we have lots of holiday traditions.
Excellent work.
The principal felt a lot of blank when his school won the debate. Pride, loss, or disappointment. I don't think he'd be disappointed. I don't think he'd feel a loss. I think he'd feel pride. So he was proud of his school when they won the debate.
Good job.
We blank at the airport just in time to catch our flight. Remained, moved, or arrived. That's right, we arrived or we got there just in time.
Fantastic.
The man blanked the mirrors before driving his new car. Remembered, inspected, or forgot. That's right, he inspected it or looked carefully at the mirrors before he drove.
Fantastic.
Chloe blanked a secret in her best friend's ear. Would we yell into our best friend's ear? I hope not. Whispered or replied. That's right, you're going to speak softly, so we're going to whisper.
Good job.
Grandma gave me a blank necklace for my 8th birthday. Valuable, broken, or useless. I don't think Grandma would give a broken or useless necklace, but she might give us a valuable necklace, whether it's worth lots of money or it just has a lot of sentimental value.
Excellent work.
Birds blank to warmer areas during the winter. Remain, stay, or migrate. That's right, they migrate or move to warmer areas to live during the winter.
Good job.
We all live in the same blank and attend the same school. We all live in the same town hall, community, or parent. That's right, we live in a community.
Excellent work.
Taryn worked on her project all night to blanket for the art show. Destroy it? I hope not. Leave it? I don't think so. Or improve? Yes, she worked to improve it or make it better for the art show.
Fantastic.
The diamond on her finger was as bright as the night. That's not bright. The sun, well, that's pretty bright. Or the ocean. That's right, I think it's the sun, as bright as the sun.
Good job.
The coal mine was as black as blank, so we turned on our flashlights. Okay? And we are comparing two unlike things. Does anyone remember what that is? The coal mine was as black as night.
Good job.
The future was as open as the bucket, land, or chair. I don't think a bucket or a chair is open. The land can be open if we have just native land as far as we can see. We call that open land. So I think we're going to choose land.
Fantastic.
Great. Okay, her alarm clock sounded as loud as a police siren, a whisper, or a cricket. Well, the whisper is not loud. A cricket can seem pretty loud, but not as loud as a siren. So I think we're going to choose.
Excellent work.
Jason was so scared that his face turned as white as the sky, a ghost, or the ocean. Well, I think the thing that's white here is the ghost.
Good job.
The gold rush swept across America like a blank when gold was found in 1848. Wildfire, lightning, or raindrops? What would sweep across the land? That's right, a wildfire.
Good job.
And our last one, we jumped out of the pool because the blank was cold as ice. We're jumping into a pool, so would it be ground, water, or waves? That's right, it would be water.
Good job.
All right, fantastic. All right, I don't know if I'm sharing this with you, so let's go back and make sure that you can see what we're going to read. All right, so here we are sailing to America. This is our story for today. So let's follow along. You can follow along on the screen or in your textbook if you have one. So let's get started.
Genre: historical fiction. Sailing to America.
All right, historical fiction. So is this a true story or a made-up story? That's right, it's fiction, so it's a made-up story. But what does it mean, historical fiction? It's going to take place at some time in history, a real time, something that could have happened but did not. So this is going to give us some real history, but this actual thing did not happen. So it's a made-up fiction story.
Essential question: why do people immigrate to new places? Read about why one family came to America. Nora woke early. She hadn't slept much. It was March 1895. Da was leaving for America today. Uncle Sean immigrated there last year and found work right away. He asked Da to join him. It was Mama and Da's dream to one day live in America. Nora lit a lamp for light and sat down at the table. Her brother Danny joined her. "I feel like crying," he whispered softly. "I know," Nora answered. "So do I. But this is Da and Mama's dream. Da will find work and send for us. Look at the photographs that Uncle Sean sent. Doesn't America look grand?"
All right, so who is Da? That's right, that's the father. So another word for dad or father is Da. And it looks like Uncle Sean, so probably Da's brother, has already gone to America and is now asking for Da or the children's father to come to America, which is the dream that he and his wife have, is to live in America. So let's see what happens next.
"I don't want to ever leave Ireland," Danny said. "We won't have any friends in America. We'll be far away from Granda, Patty, and Colleen." "Maybe you'll be glad it isn't Ireland," Nora said. "There will be enough food to eat. Mama and Da can relax and not worry so much. We'll all have a better life. America will be the land of our dreams. Then Da carried a bag into the room. Cheer up, my little loves. Why, in no time at all, you'll be joining me.
All right, so Da's getting ready to leave where they live now. Where do they live now? That's right, they live in Ireland. And then he is going to be sending for them after he gets there and has a job. All right, so let's keep going.
A year later, Da had saved enough money to send for his family. Mama, Danny, and Nora packed what little they had. They got on a crowded steamship and began their voyage. The trip across the Atlantic Ocean was rough. The air inside the steamship smelled like a dirty sock. The ship tossed up and down for days. The waves were as big as mountains. Many passengers became seasick, but Nora and Danny felt fine. Every day, Nora daydreamed and reread Da's letters. She thought of the buildings and streetcars he wrote about. In her dreams, she could picture Da on a crowded street. He had a big smile on his face.
All right, so how long was it before they were able to start their voyage to go join their father? That's right, a year, so a long time. It took a year for him to save enough money to send for his family. And then how did they travel? That's right, they traveled on a steamship. Okay, so airplanes were not available at this time. So they traveled on a ship across the Atlantic Ocean, and it was a long and rough trip.
One morning, Nora awoke. A moment later, she realized something was different. The ocean was as smooth as glass. A few hours later, Nora, Danny, and Mama shivered together on the ship's deck. Snowflakes drifted through the air. Another traveler noticed and gave them a blanket. It was as thin as a rag, but nothing could have been more valuable to them. Suddenly, someone shouted, "There's Lady Liberty!" As the ship passed the large statue, the crowd cheered. Someone shouted, "At last, we've arrived! We are in America!" Soon everyone was singing and dancing. A ferry took the travelers to Ellis Island. In the main hall, doctors inspected the family. They looked for signs of illness. Mama had to answer many questions. Nora knew that people didn't get an opportunity or another chance to take these tests twice. Nora looked at Danny, then at Mama. They had to pass. After a few hours, the family learned they could stay in America. As they filed off the ferry, Nora saw Uncle Sean's dark hair. Then she saw Da. His hands waved wildly. He had a big smile on his face. Dreams do come true, Nora thought as she waved back.
So what dream had come true? That's right, the dream that Da and Mama had about coming and living in America was now coming true.
Make connections. Why did Nora and her family immigrate to America? How would the move make their lives better? Has anyone in your family ever moved to a new place? How did they feel?
Okay, so why do you think they did move to America? It sounded like they might not have had enough food while they were in Ireland, and that things were hard for her family and for their family, and they were hoping that things would be better for them and their lives in America. So has anyone in your family ever moved to a new place? Maybe you, maybe someone else in your family. So how do you think they felt? Maybe hopeful, maybe a little bit scared. Seems a little bit scary to me, but could turn out very well. All right, we did not look at our vocabulary words, so let's go back and see, oops, too far. All right, so on page 119, we have 3 of our vocabulary words for this week. Immigrated, which means moving to live in another country. whispered or speaking very softly or quietly. Photographs, pictures taken with a camera, or we did say maybe the camera in your cell phone. Page 122, moment. Is a moment very long? No, just a short amount of time. Valuable. So here it says that the blanket was as thin as a rag. So do you think it was worth a lot of money? No, but it was still very valuable or important to them. At last we arrived. So arrived means that you have reached your destination or gotten to where you're going. Page 123, inspected. So they inspected the family. That means they looked at them carefully or closely. An opportunity is a chance for something, usually something good to happen. Okay, so we reviewed lots of our vocabulary words today, and we will keep reviewing them every day so you are ready for your quiz on Friday. All right. And that's it for today. Well, let's go back here quickly. Let's talk about similes for a minute. I asked you when we were comparing two things that are different and using the word as, do we remember what that's called? That is a simile. So we had lots of similes in our vocabulary review. So the waves were as big as mountains. So that is a simile. So we compare two very different things using the words like or as. And we'll talk more about similes this week. All right. Let's move on to one of our worksheets. So here we go. Sailing to America is the story that we just read. So we're going to work on a worksheet about that. And it's asking us to answer the following questions by gluing the text evidence that best provides the answer. And since we're working online here, we won't be gluing unless you are a packet person, in which case you will be cutting these out and gluing them. But if we are doing our work online, we're just going to be grabbing each one of these and dragging it to the box where it belongs. So here are our choices, and here are our boxes. So let's take a look. What quotes support Danny's point of view about leaving Ireland? So what is his point of view, or what does he think about leaving Ireland? Do you remember what Danny thought? Let's take a look at our choices. We'll be far away from Granda, Patty, and Colleen. The trip across the Atlantic Ocean was rough. There will be enough food to eat. Mama and Da can relax and not worry so much. The ocean was as smooth as glass. Soon everyone was singing and dancing. We won't have any friends in America. Dreams do come true. We'll all have a better life. America will be the land of our dreams. So how was Danny feeling? Do you remember? Yeah, I think we have two quotes here, but I'm just going to do one of them for you. So here it says, we'll be far away from Granda, Patty, and Colleen. And I think that is text evidence of how Danny felt about moving to America. So I'm going to drag that over here. Going to move it around just a little bit. Make it fit a little bit better. Okay, and that's what we'll be doing for each of these. So you're going to put your second quote here. Here, what quotes support Nora's point of view about leaving Ireland? I think she felt a little bit differently from Danny. So we're going to look for two quotes there. Here, what was the trip to America like? Then how did Nora realize that something was different about their trip when she awoke? What proves the passenger's point of view about reaching America? And what is the theme of sailing to America? So what is the theme, or what is the lesson that we learn reading this story? Okay, so that's what we're going to do on this worksheet. Let's look at our next worksheet. Our next worksheet is vocabulary practice. So let's take a look at this one. Okay, so here are our vocabulary words that we have been talking about. Let's look at number 1. When I blank at my new house, I was so excited that I got my own bathroom. I've had to share with my sister for my entire life. So when I blank at my new house, valuable, moment, photographs, whispered, opportunity, immigrated, inspected, or arrived. What do we think we should put there? When I blank at my new house. That's right. When I arrived or when I got to my new house. So I'm going to type arrived right here. Okay, let's look at number 2. Callie and Lily blank the bug's wings with a microscope because it looked very poisonous. Luckily, it wasn't, so they continued to play with it. Okay, so they inspected the bug's wings. Okay, so you can cross these out as you use them, and then you will know which ones you still have left. Okay, so we have 8 vocabulary words. I have done the first 2 for you, so that leaves you with 6 more to do on your own. Don't forget to turn it in when you're finished. All right, let's look at one more worksheet. All right, so this is our phonics practice. So we've done these a bunch, so I'm sure that you already know how to do it, but we'll go over it quickly. Okay, so shade spelling words using the following code. So we're doing long E spelling words this week. So we're looking for long E spelled double E, and we're going to shade those pink. So let's look. Week, clean, pioneer. Ooh, I see a double E here, so I'm going to move one of my pink highlights over here. Long E spelled E-A, week. Oh, that's a long E spelled E-A, so I'm going to move one of my green highlights over here. Long E spelled E, another letter, and E. Let's see, week, clean, that's another EA, pioneer, supreme. E with a letter and an E, so that is a yellow. Okay, and then long E spelled I-E, cashier, E-I-E, okay, so I'm gonna need to pull an orange highlight over here. Right? And you are going to continue by using the color code here until you have colored each one of these words, spelling words. Okay? At the bottom, you're going to pick 2 words and use them to write a sentence. And in the challenge, you're going to think of other words that could be added to the table. So you're looking for other long E words. This week's spelling words are all long E. All right, and those are all of your worksheets for reading today. So I hope you enjoyed our story, and go ahead and complete those worksheets. If you have any trouble at all, please come see me during office hours and we can work on those things together. All right, thanks for being patient with me, for getting these videos done, and I will see you soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.